Morning YouTube, CGL's New Jersey Collectibles here. Dad and I were on our way to the flea market, and we're going a little bit later today. It's about 9 o'clock. Had a late night last night, so got a little bit of shut-eye this morning. A lot of people keep commenting, Dad, on whether the rug ever leaves the car or not. No plans to move it just yet. We'll be all right with it. So we'll catch you guys at the flea market. Well, we got here a little late. What's the first thing we're seeing?
Big crowd. Extra vendors, large crowd.
Looks packed.
Day's over, guys.
And then I did something else. Somebody you guys remember that, right?
What's that?
The guy passed away. Thanks.
Yeah.
Sweeping the puddle, yeah.
Yeah.
I think it was a week later.
Yeah, that's what I hear. A lot of people say that.
I didn't hear about that one. Yeah, that over here.
Yeah, really.
We saw the guy who went down, and they were working on it at that point.
Hey man, you bro, take care, man. Good luck.
The other guy got beat up. 3 guys went nuts.
Stealing? What was he doing? Stealing or something?
No, something about the storage locker or something.
And that's sensitive stuff, man. When a family loses a storage locker, what do you do? Like, you buy a locker and something.
Oh, you mean they bought a locker that was up for bid?
The guy
wanted it back. My locker.
That's sensitive stuff.
Track it down or whatever. And they were still.
Yeah, but they're all facing heavy charges. Oh my God.
I mean, that's like, you beat someone about, that's attempted murder. That's not what it is.
And
you're still not getting your stuff back.
Yeah.
There's no good outcome.
Premeditated because they were waiting for it.
Right.
You said it was 3 guys?
3 6-foot guys.
Wow.
With aluminum baseball. And they have your license plate taped up. So you couldn't tell what license plate it was.
This place is covered with state troopers.
Yeah, this would be the
well,
place.
there's state troopers outside the perimeter.
Yeah.
Giving
There's
out
one right in the parking lot right there.
Well, now there is. Giving out tickets. Yeah. The only security you see here is the old guy with the security jacket on, shopping.
Yeah, right? That's true.
That's true.
You know? I've never seen a state trooper walk through here.
That's true. But that's the first time I've ever heard of that story. That's mind blowing.
Yeah, it's on the internet.
I've bought storage locker too, and
Nothing like that.
like you said, it's a sensitive
I've heard
thing.
of storage lockers where a guy's like, listen, I'm keeping the stuff, but I'll give you all the personal items out of it. Like,
Right.
Whatever you, if I'm looking for something specific, like I'll give you all the personal items, the photos.
Right.
It's
Well,
like,
when I do even house clean outs, I mean, I make sure, like, if I come across, supposedly you have to turn in medical records, which I do, but personal items, I don't want them.
Pictures of the family and stuff like that. What are you going to do with them?
No, I don't. Right.
You know what I mean? Who's going to buy pictures?
Especially if somebody told me, they put it aside. I'll leave it aside. I don't want it. But I've been at storage units where the guy comes right as the auction's going off and he wants to pay. And it's up to the store. I don't know what the rules with the storage place. And I feel bad, I feel bad when your shit is going.
Your son's here, dude.
It's tough.
I know. But you don't deserve baseball cards.
That's really bad stuff. Really bad stuff.
He had a broken arm, ribs, concussion. Yeah, then they took a vase off the table and they smashed it over his head. Then they smashed another vase over him.
New projects, man. I got.
It's always a new level of craziness.
My buddy says, "Oh, all the people here and nobody would jump in." I says, "Dude, you're gonna take a baseball bat to the head for somebody you don't know?"
Right, and you don't even know the context of the story.
You don't know the story. I says, family, good friend, yeah, maybe you jump in, try and break it up. But
of course.
This guy got me.
But for strangers, it's really tough. You don't know what's going on. I wouldn't like to see somebody get
6 foot guy. There's 3 of them.
Yeah.
You stop one guy, the other 2 guys are gonna more likely clobber you.
Absolutely.
This is no. I wouldn't.
But you know what? Even a guy with, I mean, there's 8 zillion cameras. Like he's got his GoPro, and people have cell phones. I mean,
they had COVID masks, hoodies, tied down tight, all in black. All in black. Yeah, I think they had black gloves on, all in black. So this was all prepared.
it was all prepared.
Yeah, and they were waiting behind. They were waiting behind the truck. I think they were going to do it when it was over. And then the one guy said because other people heard him, and they told it to the police. The other guy said, "I'm not waiting till the end. Let's get him now." Yeah. It's something that you, and he wouldn't stay down. He said the guy was getting beat. He wouldn't stay down. People would yell at him, "Just stay down, just stay down," and he wouldn't stay down. I'm taking one shot and I'm curling up in the ball and that's it. I'm done. I'm not trying to get back up. It's a flea market, you know what I mean? It's not worth it. I'm gonna see if I can find Bruce.
What's your opinion? You're at a game.
Oh, the Kershaw thing? I understand it. Him coming off the elbow, I just...
How many guys have hit the perfect game?
True, but the thing, no. The thing is, though, is that as a team, would you rather have them over record? But yeah, you're right. I think...
Why am I watching a regular season game? You know, someone will call someone, hey, the guy's got a perfect game, going straight.
I know.
Now he's not even in it.
I agree.
You gotta go.
Yeah, I would like to see it. I hate like when you see those combined no-hitters. They're terrible. Like nobody's perfect game. I know, exactly. And that's not the first time. He took a chill out of him too. Did you see that?
Yeah.
So Roberts is like, he doesn't lose, man. He gets paid to win.
For sure.
Yeah, okay, no problem. Thanks so much. Yeah, you're right. If he goes out in the blaze of glory, like that's it, he's done. That's right. That's right. Thank you very much. You're right. I would like to have seen it.
I'm not that game.
If I ever do. When was the next hit? Like right after the...
Oh yeah, that's a good question.
I don't know.
But he only had 80.
Yeah, he had 80 pitches.
I mean, I'm going the 80. Or 85.
Yeah, true.
He probably wasn't going to get it anyway. Third time through the game.
You're right, though. I mean, what I saw was there's like both sides of the fence feel very strongly about each one.
I get it, because I'm in. I'm like,
Yeah.
apparently he was
Thank you. And yeah, I can send me the list, and I'll actually.
There's no beat up Zebra in there.
There's no beat up Zebra in there. No. I'll keep my eyes out for
I'm trying
one
to figure
though.
out, like, what's the best way of getting this cat? It's not even. Or maybe it is, I don't know.
I mean, maybe finding one on an auction site, but even then, you don't get the deals anymore. Like everybody knows about them, so there's no deals.
I'm telling you, the card's ripped, and it went for $600.
That's crazy.
Actually, I got at a show. Maybe at a show. I got at a show. I got a ripped Ofax for $80. So maybe somebody
Like that for $2?
Yeah.
And I wasn't even like in the market. I just assumed I'd never get one. They're always,
I
like,
never see them. That's the problem.
Yeah.
It's a high number too, isn't it?
the receiver?
The receiver.
Yeah, it's not a high number.
Oh, nice.
It's not a high number, but it's a short print for a high number. So there's like
yeah,
twice
I
as
know,
many.
there's so, I never see them.
Oh, if you go on like YouTube, it's big.
And
Yeah, I mean,
and they're all too much.
well, yeah, they're in good shape because I think the high numbers keep on playing. So for the most part, it's pretty rare to get like one that's glued into a book or something. That's good.
I'll definitely keep my eye open for one.
But it's just been annoying it because I had the whole rest of the set for like a year. Just that one card. But I'm just not. I can't. I'm not gonna make that. I mean, it's probably not a bad investment, but
No, certainly not.
Yeah.
I mean, the vintage rookies for those guys, those mega Hall of Famers,
Right, yeah.
like they're gonna appreciate it. They should.
yeah.
They're just like this. They'll appreciate
After
it.
one day, I'll
Appreciate content.
after one day, I'll save like a couple $100. Like, God, mine.
One will show up,
Yeah.
or you'll just get one in a shoebox lot or something. All right, who knows? You got it, man.
Dolph, I've been
So late.
rough week. Rough week.
I hear you.
Usually I have Wednesday to at least take a midweek nap,
I got you.
and I didn't even have that this week, so nothing. I was meaning to ask though, if you ever come across Yu-Gi-Oh cards or anything like that.
Actually, had you in mind too when I was at Big Apple Con. There was a guy who had a shoebox of Yu-Gi-Oh cards.
Really?
And I was doing my best to like look up the comps on eBay, and he was right about retail.
Yeah, yeah,
but
they're
I don't
tough.
know anything. I figured if anything's like, you know, like Pokemon, if it's like a hollow or and those are like gold leaf,
Right.
like the gold writing,
Right,
rather
right.
than the regular ones, they're probably a little bit better.
Yeah.
Yeah, he had them like $1 a piece, and I was like, they were right around $1 or $2, but
Yeah.
I'll keep my eye open for you.
Keep them open, especially. It's hard to tell. Yeah, hard to tell if you don't know. So there's like the original kind of Yu-Gi-Oh artwork, and then there's like all the newer stuff. And like me, I don't collect the newer stuff. I like the older stuff.
Is there
But-
a way to tell if it's like?
Well, it's all the numbers that are on the thing.
Yeah.
So anything underneath the picture, the big image of the character, there's a little bit of writing on it, and the original ones have certain writing: LOB, SDY, SKE, all stuff like that.
And the year?
It doesn't have the year. They all say, I think they all say Konami 1996 or something like that for the most part. But it's all about that little number that's underneath the picture. But if you ever keep stuff, you know, have my number. So
I do. So if I do run across something, I'll at least snap you a picture.
right, yeah, because I buy that more as a collector rather than as a dealer. So looking to put some stuff together.
Yeah, my age, I was just outside of like even Pokemon, because that was like, I think I was just out of high school then.
Right.
And I was like, nah. How you doing? Good, thanks. Anybody want a donut?
I'm good, thank you.
You guys interested in Archie at all?
Yeah, I found some that I like.
Did you look in
Do you
here?
want to do a deal for all three, the short boxes? I'm late my money. So if you want the short boxes for like 10 short boxes, you can have one.
Yeah?
You want them?
What do you think? Yeah, I guess. Take a shot.
I mean, they're really like dollar. They are dollar bills.
Yeah, I was gonna take some, but yeah.
Well, you want to put the ones you grabbed, put them right back in the box, and then just take everything if you want. Even if you listen, you want to give me like 25 for the third?
Yeah, absolutely.
Right?
Take a shot.
You like that stuff, I know.
I do.
I had you in mind. I know you like Archie and like all that stuff. I figured it, I don't know what's there, less than 50 cents a book. That's 20 cents a book.
I love Sabrina, Jersey.
Yeah. Yeah, that guy, there's an old guy that came around last year in June. His name is Lou. He loved little Lulu books. I priced them. I had him in mind when I bought the collection. They're old, like golden age stuff. He bought the whole stack for like $200. I bought the whole collection for 30. So I already made my money. Take it.
I gotta ask the Earl Campbell rookie. What do you got on that?
Nice.
That's a good one. It's in good shape too.
Yeah, it looks nice. It's white, very white.
Yeah. Not much. You'd be surprised. $40. you have that graded, that's worth way more than 40 bucks.
Yep. Well, I'll take it because I've been looking for it.
All right.
So what are we doing?
I guess we'll do the Archies. We'll do these.
Say 25, 40, 65, and let's see. These are all lower stuff?
Yeah.
Say 75.
75? Sounds like a plan. And this is your thing?
Yeah.
It's the auction?
So checking out your site, I see you got a lot of cards listed already.
Yeah.
You want to give anybody like a little, what you got here?
New High Auctions. It's my new auction site. I am consigning a 1 million sports card collection right now. There's a lot of really good sealed stuff. Blasters, hobby boxes. It is a get in, you know, if you're one of the early ones, you're probably going to get a pretty good deal on all this stuff. But sports, non-sports, lots of sealed boxes. Lots of them.
Yeah, guys, go check them out.
Yeah, newhighauctions.com.
What'd you give him?
Thanks, Chris.
80. No problem. Here. Excuse me? Two questions. One, what'd you have on that?
$5.
5. And then these Star Trek figures, what'd you have on these guys?
Will, backgammon set.
30. These guys right here?
Yeah.
Are you interested in all of them or just like a couple?
I'm interested in these 3 here.
Okay. These I'm asking 30 a piece. You take 3 of them, I'll do 25 a piece.
Okay.
So it'll be 75 plus this 80 bucks.
Gotcha.
This is cool. What is this? This is made in what? Britain?
Yeah, that's a Corgi Jr.
Britain.
Yep.
Holy shit.
All right, I'll think about it. I'll think about that. So, yep. Thank you.
No problem. This is a no?
I'll pass on that. I'll pass on that.
$5.
What'd you get on the Mr. Bean?
$10.
10? I'll take that for 10. There's a 20. Thank you. Do you have a bag by any chance?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yep. Yeah, nice. That's good though. something like old school original. Yeah, like the ones that are older, like comic, there's no exciting pieces of work here. Like it's only Japanese also. No, it's a tricorn dragon. Nothing really for me.
I know, I put them, that's where there's some out. There's one out yet.
So if I need anything, you don't worry. I'm not going to ask you, I just come. Okay? I'm too old. I shoot at the gym. Okay.
Excuse me, what'd you have on the little slot machine? 400. That's a nice, it's nice. It does pay out? Thank you.
Old 70s comics.
We're going to have a lot, all different kinds.
Choi.
Hey, what's up, man?
How's it do? How you going? Anything new this week?
I only threw like a couple new ones in there, to be honest with you. Some new mutants, and that was about it.
Let me see.
I saw the video, man.
Yeah?
It was cool to see, man. How's everything with you guys?
Pretty good, pretty good.
Came in late today, huh?
Yeah, had a long week, and I was like,
yeah?
and today was probably the worst day to show up late.
Really?
Because
Yeah.
there's so much stuff here.
We started late. We usually start at 7:30, like ready to sell. We weren't ready to sell like 8:30, almost 9 o'clock.
That is great.
But
But
yeah,
there's so much stuff out there. Oh my
we didn't
god.
even get a chance to go look around, man.
Yeah.
We're stuck behind the tables. How's everything else going?
Pretty good, pretty good. All right, guys, so we're back at the house, and I got a lot of stuff to go through, especially the 3 short boxes of Archie comics. So I'm going to go through it all rather quickly. Dad bought a couple albums, a Slim Whitman, and another one. I'm not sure who this is, Country Songs and City Hits, but probably worth the listen. Patsy Cline, Miss Country Music, and Jerry Lee Lewis sings the Country Music Hall of Fame Hits Volume 1. I'm not sure what he paid for these, but 4 country records. I guess Dad was feeling country this week. We'll get into some more of the odd and end kind of stuff. Let's see here, what did I get? For $10, got this right in the beginning. Not sure why I got it exactly, other than the fact that I thought it was like kind of cool. Mr. Bean Wacky Wobbler Bobble Car. Mr. Bean, kind of a cult classic in American film, or I shouldn't even say American film, but certainly in American culture. Mr. Bean has a nice following. $10. I think it's a pretty cool little piece. Not sure what I can actually get for it. Have not searched these on eBay. It does unfortunately have a little tear right up there. That's the only kind of issue with the box. But for $10, I think that's a fair deal for that. And then we got some kind of odd and end comics just mixed throughout the day. I'll go through these. Unfortunately, guys, I do have to go through all these really kind of quick because there are so many of them. But let's try to go through as many as we can. Wolverine, X-Men Adventures, Batman 684, Detective Comics, Batman 684, Avengers 351, 332, nice Dr. Doom cover, Avengers 315, Flash 249. The Defenders first spectacular issue. Captain America 358. 320. 325. Hulk is a little rough condition. Got some folds in there, but 313. 304. Stoker's Dracula, number 2. That's pretty cool. Charlie Chan, number 2. A Justice League 215. Justice League, what number is this? Oh, it's Secret Origins starring Justice League, number 32. Okay, Batman 471. Killer Croc cover. And Batman 476. So yeah, guys, this week at the flea market was pretty cool. Of all the weeks to have shown up late, definitely picked the wrong week. Look, it happens. Another run of Batman here. It was just a long week overall, and to be able to get an extra hour or two sleep on Saturday morning went a long way. Definitely got me through the rest of the weekend pretty good. And you know, it's okay. I honestly, going into this week, not knowing that there was going to be so much good stuff there, obviously. I like that. It's got the Soviet Union cover on it. Interesting. But I wasn't even really planning, guys, on spending too much money at the flea market this past weekend because of next week's adventure, next Saturday. Heading up to a big flea market, so I plan on taking a decent wad of cash there. But with that being said, we didn't miss not that we missed, but we missed out early on a really good week. There were so many vendors, guys. You guys can see from the footage. Oh, here's a pretty cool Star Trek book. What is this? Kind of like just like an inside the scene, behind the scene kind of thing. That's really cool. I like stuff like this. Is that Harry Mudd? Yes, it is. That's one of my favorite episodes, is I Mudd. As silly as it is. Put those up there. And we'll keep going. But yeah, the vendors were out today. I mean, the weather was great. There were a lot of people there. Obviously, we got there a little later. Usually, when you get the earlier you go, the less people are actually there. But a lot of people there. I'm talking about the buyers. A lot of people there buying. What else? What else happened on Saturday? I got some pretty juicy gossip stories. If you heard the story in the beginning of the video, I wasn't I was just kind of overhearing the conversation. I'm glad I kind of caught it on film, so hope I don't get in trouble by posting it. But yeah, if anybody knew anything about that, that was quite an interesting story about a guy that got absolutely destroyed by 3 guys with baseball bats. Pretty interesting. And I'm glad I wasn't there for that. That's all I have to say. Got a Ripley's Believe It or Not, and then a Young Love. All right, so that pretty much does it that's everything that we bought from other vendors. Now, the bulk of this stuff is coming from one vendor, and that is Dolph over at Junkyard Breaks. This is his YouTube channel, guys. Now, Dolph sets up every week at the New Jersey Meadowlands Flea Market on Saturdays. He brings comics, sports cards, and other collectibles. And if you heard him, if you watched the video, if you didn't, go back and check it out, because he gives a nice little explanation as to what he's doing here with his new high auctions. So this is an auction site that he's running, and like he said, he's got a lot of stuff coming up in the near future. A huge sports car collection, a huge comic book collection. Go check it out. I'm not too sure of all the details on this, but I myself am going to go check this out as soon as I'm done posting this video, just to see what it's all about. And let's go give him some of our business and see what he's all about, because obviously he's a great guy, and he's got some really cool stuff. And yeah, some of these collections that he has up on his site might catch your interest. So go check him out, and let's get into all the stuff that we got from him. So I'll just get this one out of the way. Even though this was my purchase, it was my favorite purchase in a long time. It's an Earl Campbell Houston Oilers rookie card from 1978. And yeah, Earl Campbell, maybe my favorite player of all time, question mark? I'm not sure. He's certainly up there in the top 3, probably the top 2, maybe he's number 1. But just to show you guys what I do with kind of cards like this is, like I said, I said in previous videos, I'm a sports, particularly football historian, and so I love putting stuff together like this. So this was Sports Illustrated, his Rookie on a Rampage cover. I believe this was his first NFL Sports Illustrated cover, and here I have another one of his cards where he broke the rookie rushing record. So it's just kind of interesting to me to put these things together. It's like, here he was, this was like his first issue. It was like, here's this rookie guy out of Texas that's kind of doing these spectacular things, and then he goes on to break the rookie record, and here's his rookie card all along with it. I think that's a nice little collection. Especially, people just throw the Sports Illustrated stuff away. I mean, I find Sports Illustrated books just like this in really nice condition for $1 or $2. I mean, nobody really collects Sports Illustrated, or at least people do collect them, but they're not worth a whole lot. And for me, they're just as cool as the cards themselves. So I love putting stuff together like this. And for 40 bucks, it was paying up. It was one of the more expensive cards I've ever bought that's not graded. Maybe the most expensive card that I ever bought that's not graded, but worth every penny for me, because it's a really, really cool card. One I've wanted for a really long time. All right, we'll do these other books. So we bought a huge collection of Archie comics for a really good price. But before I show off those, I'll show off all these books, or the superhero books, that we got half off of sticker price. So whatever the sticker price says, this one here has a $2 price. So we got this one for $1. And obviously it probably rounded out to less when you put it all together. So for these comics, for this stack of comics here, for the $40 Earl Campbell rookie card, and for 3 short boxes of Archie comics, we paid a grand total of $75 for everything. So I don't know how you can go wrong with that. In my estimation, that's a pretty good deal. And yeah, especially for somebody like my dad, at least, who loves Archies, that's a rock solid deal for him. And Dolph had him in mind when he brought those comics in today, so really appreciate that, Dolph. And we got a Detective comic, 426, and a Defenders 104. So that's pretty much all the superhero stuff that I think we're going to see. I don't think we're going to pull any superhero stuff out of these boxes. This is pretty much all Archies, and I'm going to go really quick because there's a lot, and we'll just go through it as fast as possible. I guess this will give me a good time to talk about things that are going on the channel. So one thing that I definitely notice is the growing popularity of this channel is just you know, it's beyond what I thought it would be so quickly. I mean, this is something that at this point where I'm at, you know, some people, it's taking them years, you know, to get to where I'm at right now at about 1,300 subs, and have really, really amazing audience engagement. I mean, you guys are really like the best. I say that because it's like, you know, I'm not a I'm not a huge YouTuber by any stretch of the imagination, you know, definitely not. But I have a fan base with you guys that's just so incredibly supportive, as if I was a famous YouTuber. You know, it's really cool just to tune in and check out all the comments. You know, every time I log in, somebody's commenting something that just motivates me to go and make another video. So it's super cool to be a part of this whole experience, and I hope you guys are enjoying it as much as I have. Yeah, definitely taken back by some of the stuff I read at times, and it's cool to see. So here's some Archie pals and gals. And like I said, guys, in the past, you guys know, you know, I'm not too big into Archie stuff myself. This is definitely more my dad's realm of collecting. But I definitely enjoy the cover art and some of the stories that I've read over the course of my life. You know, not too big into it, but like, you know, the colors are, the colors in the covers are really cool. They're eye-catching, and I like stuff like that. Even if I'm not into it, I still appreciate it for sure. Here's an older one. It's kind of in rough shape, but 15 cents. Another one. That on the yeah, I think that's on the, that 10 is on the cover. And I guess I'll also take the time just to say, kind of a smaller issue, but maybe you know, an equally important one, is kind of some of the negativity that's outlined in some of these comments. I can't say that it bothers me, because it really doesn't. I don't lose sleep over it. It just bothers me, I guess, when I read them, because it bothers me to think that, like, some people out there are thinking like that, like in some of the ways that people are commenting. All I really want to say on stuff like that is, guys, you know, nowhere in my channel, in my bio, in my life, are you ever gonna find me claiming that I'm perfect. I'll be my own biggest critic for sure. I try to be as honest with myself as possible when I see fit. But with that being said, I mean, look, guys, I'm doing what I'm doing on my channel. I'm not trying. I really, I hope nobody believes that I'm out here trying to impress, that I'm out here trying to hype anything up. You know, I'm not here to hype up anything. I'm not here to hype up comics. I'm not here to hype up sports cards. I'm not here to hype up certain superheroes and anything like that. You know, I'm out here just doing my own thing. And I thought I'd take everybody along. I've been doing this since I was, like I said, 9 years old. First time I started going to flea markets regularly was around 9 or 10 years old. It's just only recently I strapped a camera on and just started recording. So I'm not doing anything different than what I was doing when I was 9. This is how I've always operated. Obviously, I'm operating on a larger scale now that I have A, more money in my pocket, B, a lot more buying experience, and C, different kind of goals and aspirations. So I'm evolving as I go through this journey to my own accord. And I just find it funny sometimes when people comment on my channel, but I see it way more on other channels than I see it on my own. But I'll just address the issue in general, which is, and let me just fix this camera. Hang on, let's see. The issue is kind of, in a nutshell, it's people saying that there's a right way and a wrong way to do certain things like collecting or buying or going to flea markets. Like, there's a right way to do it and there's a wrong way to do it. And you know, when I hear stuff like that, I just got to shake my head and kind of say, well, not exactly. You know, not exactly. In particular instances, if you're going to the flea market simply to buy, to resell at a certain percentage profit margin Guys, I'm talking like really, really specifics, not just I'm going to buy and resell, because that's one category. But if you want to buy and resell at a very specific number, you know, that's another category. And if you want to go to the flea market and you want to do a little bit of buying, a little bit of selling, just a little bit of sightseeing, just kind of you're not even there to buy, you're just kind of there to look, which is more what I do. I do a little bit of everything, right? I'm trying to buy items to resell them. That's kind of the first tier on my list. B, the second thing I'm looking for is things I collect. You know, I'm really looking for anything that I find to be an interesting collectible, like the Earl Campbell rookie card, you know, like the vintage X-Men comics, and you know, just kind of the stuff that I like for myself. I look for stuff like that. Then kind of third on the list, and kind of like near the bottom, is quote unquote, and a lot of you comic collectors love this word, but investing. Comic investing, collectible investing, guys. I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but I do look to invest in certain collectibles, maybe, but it's 1 in 1,000. It's 1 in 1,000, guys. Collectible investing is not as simple as some of you guys make it out to be. I know a lot of you guys are much more sophisticated on the subject. And you already know a lot of what I'm about to say, but listen, if there's somebody like me out here that's watching these videos, or somebody out here that's you know, getting into collectibles and wants to take their collection to the next level, just please hear me out when I say, understand the risk, the high risk of investing in collectibles in today's current market. The odds that you are going to lose money are so far, in the long run, are so far and above what people make it out to be. It is not as simple as buy something that's worth money, hold on to it, and 20 years down the road it's going to be worth a lot more money. That's absolutely not that simple. Absolutely not. And people that make it out to be that simple, I wish you best of luck. I certainly hope that you do what you enjoy. If you really enjoy that, and you have a strong passion for quote unquote investing in collectibles, and you know, you've done your research and you really believe strongly on a particular item, honestly, go for it. Go for it. I'm not here to discourage anybody on that. What I'm here discouraging are the people that come on here, it seems like almost every video now, and just talk about how, oh, you missed a great book, it's going to be a great investment in the future. Oh, you should pay up for a book like that, because down the road it's going to be worth X number of dollars. Maybe you're right, but there's a really slim chance of that, and there's a really high chance that you're wrong. And it's the same with any investment. There's no such thing as a investment that is 100% guaranteed to increase in value. No such thing. I mean, you got a whole variety of things to equate, one of them being risk. Another one of them that's really forgotten when people make kind of idiotic statements like that is opportunity cost. You know, what is it costing you now? What could you be doing with your money now to be generating a better return, as opposed to buying a comic that you hope one day doubles in value 20 years down the road? I mean, I'm not looking to hold a collection of books that I'm going to resell in 30 years and kind of wait 30 years to see my profits return. I'm looking to buy maybe, it's hard to even say, because I'm not really out specifically looking to invest. But if I was an investor, which I'll talk more about what it takes to become an investor, I would be looking to buy 1, maybe 2 comics a year in what's called investment quality grade, that I believe are more blue chip, surefire investments to make. An example. This is going to be kind of tough to explain, but let's just imagine that you're a comic book collector and you're looking to become a comic book investor, and you have some capital saved up, you have some money saved up, or you want to sell your collection and kind of, let's say you have 10,000 books in your collection and you want to limit it to 10 books. Like you want really 10 really high quality books, as opposed to 10,000 kind of so-and-so average books, right? Which is a great strategy. I'm not saying that's a bad strategy at all, but let's just say what it is you should be looking to invest in. Let's say you feel really strongly about, here's a popular one today, Hulk 181. Hulk 181, first full appearance of Wolverine, a comic that is just soared in value, which makes investing in that kind of difficult right now, because you kind of missed a huge opportunity to go out and get it by waiting till now to buy them. But let's say you want to get one and you want to quote unquote invest. Guys, if you go out and you buy a raw copy of, or a raw beat up copy, let's just say of Hulk 181, if you buy a graded 2.0, a graded 5.0, a graded 7.0, you're really missing the core of the comic book investing. A book like that, a book that there are thousands of copies out there. This is not an Amazing Fantasy 15. This is not an Action Comics 1. This is not an X-Men 1. This is not, this is not a super duper unbelievably rare book. In order to make the investment worth its while, you pretty much have to buy that book in about a 9.4 or higher. And some people are going to be like, well, what? That doesn't make any sense. Why should I? What's wrong with buying like an 8.0 or a 7.5 or 7.0 and just buying and holding? Guys, there's nothing wrong with that. It's just, if you're going to go in on the investment side of collectibles, the investment side of comic books, you have to be buying the investment grade material. Investment grade meaning the top upper tier, the echelon, the cream of the crop of the particular collectible that you are investing in, which is not something that I can afford to do right now, which is why I'm not really looking to invest. I'm not looking to invest in Moon Knight 1, guys. I'm just not. That's just not. That doesn't sound like a quality investment to me. That sounds like a kind of a here and now. Who was telling me to invest in Moon Knight 1 10 years ago? Anybody? Anybody? No. That's a statement that's made here and now in the year 2022. Go invest in Moon Knight 1, or first appearance Moon Knight, obviously. What was that? Werewolf by Night 32 or something like that. Go invest in that book. Guys, you missed the opportunity to invest in it. The time to invest in it was 5-10 years ago when nobody was talking about it, or earlier than that. You're not going to invest in that comic today. It's a hype-driven commodity that really isn't going to do it for you, unless you want to invest in, like I said, that somebody brought one into the Pawn Stars episode. They had a Moon Knight, the first appearance Moon Knight, I think at a 9.8 or a 9.6 or something like that. It's like, yeah, okay, that's a cream of the crop collectible. That's one that you might want to consider investing in. But unless you got 150K lying around, you're kind of out on that. So it's not that you can't invest in lower grade comics and still succeed. I'm not saying that you can't. I'm just saying that with a book like Hulk 181, there's thousands. People think that book is quote unquote rare. It's rare. It's not rare. It's rare in really good condition. That's where it's rare. If you can go to a show and see 10 vendors that have Hulk 181, it's not a rare book. It just isn't. Especially some guys have multiple copies. I mean, like, who are you? If you can go in on eBay, type in Hulk 181, and you can find 100 different listings. It's not a rare book, guys. What's rare is a Hulk 181 in 9.4 or better. That's rare. That's the definition of what a rare book is. And you have to pay up for rare. You have to pay up for an investment. There's no such thing as getting a comic book like that on the cheap. So, and then there's the whole other factor of, how much money do you actually have that you can afford to invest in? That's another thing that guys really give me a hard time with on here, is like, you should be investing $500 into this or $1,000 into that. And it's like, guys, I'm trying to nickel and dime my way to other investments. First of all, I'm not trying to invest in $1,000, $500 comic books. That's not what I'm all about. I have my investments in still other risky assets like stocks and soon to be real estate at some point in my life. That obviously comes with a whole set of risks and responsibilities that come along with that. But for me, that's a more surefire way to invest my money into something that I can track with a little bit more predictability, because investing in collectibles is anything but predictable. Collectible dealing in, say, 3 to 6 months, that's pretty predictable. You know, I can tell you what these Archie comics here are going to be worth in about 3 to 6 months from now. And the answer is they're probably going to be about the same as what they are now. I could tell you my Earl Campbell rookie card. I could tell you what that card's going to be worth in about 3 to 6 months. You know, an Amazing Fantasy 15 in 3 to 6 months, I can tell you about what the price is going to be worth. But in 30 years from now, collectible investing it's unpredictable. It's unpredictable. A lot of people say Action Comics #1 is the best comic to own as an investment. You know, well, says who? Says who? Maybe right here, right now it is. And even some people would debate that it isn't. But who's to say in 30 years from now, collectors are going to attach to Action Comics 1, first appearance of Superman, the same way they'd attach to whatever Detective Comics, it's going over my head right now, first appearance of Batman, or first appearance of Spider-Man. Who's to say that Superman is going to be the most popular character in comic book collecting 30 years from now? You know, you don't know. I would bet against it. I would bet that first appearance Batman, or first appearance Spider-Man, or a more mainstream hero in today's era, 30, 40 years from now, will surpass Action Comics #1. That's my own estimation, and it goes across all different kind of collecting areas, whether it be Pokemon cards, whether it be sports cards, whether it be lunchboxes, whether it be action figures, whatever the case may be, guys. What's hot today does not necessarily equate to being hot in the future. Just because comics have soared up in value today, and they're worth so much money today, they're worth so much more than what they were ever worth when they were first printed, that does not mean that the comic books that are being bought and sold today are going to equate to that same amount of value. It just doesn't. It could. It very well could. The odds are highly, highly against it. My big thing is definitely, for me, is the Bronze Age stuff, like Giant Size X-Men 1, Hulk 181, Werewolf by Night 32. You know, these kind of Bronze Age comics, guys. It's tough for me to say that I want to invest in a comic that there's literally thousands of copies of them out there. You can buy one on any given day. I understand it's kind of it's a touchy subject for a lot of you guys. I hope I explained it properly in a way that was hopefully understandable. It's just frustrating for me to read all the time that everybody's like, you should just take all your money, put it into comic books, and watch it grow, man. Just watch it grow. Just invest all your money into comics and just watch it grow over the years. It's going to be worth so much more, guys. Whew, I wish it was that simple. I hope that for those of you that are doing that, I hope that you're correct. I hope that you've done your homework and you've done all the calculations and you've assessed the investment, and you know you're doing what you want with your money. That's what it's all about, right? It's all about you do what you want with your money. But I would just advise that you make sure that you're making the right choices. I would make sure that you're not buying something that you... Hey guys, sorry about that. So unfortunately my camera cut out. His battery died right in the middle of what I was saying. So I guess that's I'll take that as a good sign to maybe shut up. maybe talking too much. But we got about another box left of these comics, these Archie comics to go. So I'll just continue to speed up along. But I guess now that I've had a little bit of time to reflect on what I was saying, I guess the ultimate message that I'm saying is, like, you know, unless you're really inside somebody's head, which, you know, none of us are, that's what I'm trying to say, is you have no idea what somebody's thinking when they're going out buying or looking at stuff. So I try to do a great job being as transparent as possible on this channel. You know, I'm not trying to hide what I pay for things. I'm not trying to hide what I sell them for. I actually want to do more of that, which is kind of dive in more to my selling side. Just to, like I said, just to be more transparent and just to add more content to the channel. So let me know if anybody be interested in that as far as my sales process and kind of what I do after I make these videos. But look, the reality of the situation is that there's not a right way to do something and a wrong way to do something. And you know, if you want to do something a certain way, you should go out and do it, but you shouldn't force that onto somebody else. You shouldn't say, you know, it's my way or it's no way. That's not what I want this channel to be about. If people want to do things, first of all, that's the first thing, is I don't want anybody to really do things my way. I guess that's one of the things that I have personally, is just I'm trying to do my thing, and I don't expect anybody to copycat me. You know, I don't expect anybody to go stride for stride with me and what I do, because I'm my own individual person, and I have my own individual tastes and likes, and my little quirky things that I like to collect, and my side business, and so yeah, I don't want to necessarily say that you have to follow me either. That's definitely not the point of the channel. The point of the channel is not to tell people that this is the best way to do something. The point of the channel is just to show you what it is I'm doing, and you know, you take it from there. But yeah, just as far as people saying that, you know, I'm doing something necessarily quote unquote wrong, I mean, I have made mistakes on this channel. I mean, that they are clearly documented. I've had mistakes like where I've either purchased something, and as soon as I purchased it, like I came home that day and I instantly regretted it, or I purchased something thinking I can do something with it, and a couple weeks or a month went by and I still wasn't able to move it at the price I thought I was able to. I've made mistakes, but I'd say my mistake ratio is probably about 25%. I'd say usually about 75% of the time I do something correctly, and 25% of the time I do it wrong, which is pretty, you know, that's pretty decent size. Like, it's not like I have a clean record, but I'm learning. Hopefully people are learning along with me. I guess I should also do a better job documenting, like I said, like with my sales records. Probably do a better job documenting what's working and what's not working, just so other people can get a gauge as to what other aspects of the market look like. And I gotta ask my dad that too, because like stuff like this, like Archie comics, Betty and Veronica, yeah, I don't know what the market is on this stuff. I mean, we bought 3 short boxes for $25. I'm assuming that that's a good deal. I'm assuming that that's something that, after my dad, you know, cherry picks what we have here, takes out anything that he wants, and we go to resell it, I'm assuming that we're gonna make some money on this. But I don't really know personally, because I don't deal in these kind of comic books, so I don't really know. But at the end of the day, I'm having fun making these videos. I do actually get a slight bit of enjoyment engaging with the any kind of negative comments. So I'm not saying like the negative comments are like hurting me or anything like that. Definitely not, because I do get, sometimes I'll be at work and I'll be home around the dinner table and I'll show people what this guy said this week and what this person's saying now, and yeah, look at this guy's saying do this and that, and you'll be fine. And sometimes I just look at the comments and I just laugh at them. I'm like, oh. But then usually some people are so like, if you say that I'm wrong, like they like, somebody will say something like, you should do this, and then I'll say something like, well, that's not really what it is I'm trying to do, and then they'll get all mad and like upset and be like, oh, well, you don't know what you're doing, you'll learn one day, you know, this, that, the other thing. And it's just kind of like, some people, and then some people just cut right to the chase, just say like, you're an idiot. And I'll just sit there and just kind of take it and just be like, yeah, you know, you're probably right. I am an idiot, but you're probably a bigger one. So, so there's never any really hard feelings. I just thought it's fun to share, since I had nothing really else to talk about while I was going through these like 300 comics. Figured I'll talk about that. And then I'll just bring it back full circle and go back to the beginning, which is just like, all the negative comments in the world don't really equate to the large portion of positive comments that I get, and just people that really have been sticking with this channel, and people that are just new to it, and everybody that's kind of just joining along on this journey. You're all kind of experimenting with me, because I don't really know what I'm doing, and then I'm trying to pick the best advice I can out of some of your comments, and just, obviously some of you guys are just so knowledgeable about what you're talking about, and I really appreciate that. Some of you guys have a really polite way of calling me an idiot, and I really appreciate that. It's like, yeah, you might have done that wrong, or this wrong, or that wrong, but it's all right. You'll get there one day. And it's like, yeah, thank you. I appreciate that. I'm not one to shy away from critique or some coaching, or some just advice in general. But at the same time, it's like, not all advice is the right advice. And that's kind of the theme, I guess, of what I'm trying to say, is just because somebody who is older and is experienced, and maybe they've even had their own successes doing what it is that they're talking about, it doesn't necessarily mean that they're going to be right for the future. And then that's the big thing with collectible investing, quote unquote. I'm going to keep saying that, because I don't think a lot of people understand what that really means. But collectible investing, guys, there's no guarantee to say that 2020 to 2050 is going to be the same as 1990 to 2020. I mean, there's nothing to indicate that is remotely true. And then especially it depends on what collectibles you're talking about. So I will grant people that comics of most of these pop culture collectibles that are featured on this channel, comics are probably the most stable of all of them. Way more stable than Pokemon or Yu-Gi-Oh cards. I'd say a little more, probably significantly more stable than sports cards and sports collectibles, and then probably on par with like action figures and stuff like that. Comic book collecting definitely is a more established market, which gives it a little bit more credibility than some other collectibles. But that should not be mistaken for, just because it worked in the past, that means it's going to work again in the future. It doesn't mean that you're going to net the same results. The way I see it is, if you were an investor from the 70s, 80s, 90s, congratulations, because your investments really came through. They really paid off. Hopefully you were investing in the right kind of stuff, and you probably done very well for yourself. Just know, when you're giving information to other people, just be weary that, just because it worked for you, that does not mean that it's going to work for somebody else. And the big thing is, don't go around bullying people, as far as telling them there's only one way to do things, and if you don't do it this way, then you're wrong. Don't try to put people down, especially when they're excited about something. If somebody's excited about collecting, like, let's just say I collect Sports Illustrated magazines, right? Nobody collects Sports Illustrated magazines. They're not worth like I said, they're not worth more than $1 or $2. But if somebody's out there collecting Sports Illustrated magazines, you have no right to say that they're stupid, or they're an idiot for collecting stuff like that, or anything like that. They want to spend their time and money collecting what you deem to be nothing. Those Sports Illustrated mean everything to that person. So there's not a right way to collect. There's not a wrong way to collect. There's your way. Do it your way, as long as you're having fun. We're winding down here. This is the last stack of about 12 books. Let's see, maybe a little bit more. Our last stack. The rant is over. It's over. Next week, guys, if anybody's still watching, I know there was a lot of comics here that not everybody's interested in. But if anybody's still watching, There's going to be a big flea market coming up next week, so I'm going to have some really good content, I think, for you guys. I plan on spending a lot of money. I hope that there's stuff there worth spending, because I'm not going to spend money just to please people, and I'm not going to just buy comics just to buy them. I'm going to buy comics that I deem to be at good prices, that I can either resell, or something that I really like as a collector or an investor. I'll even go as far as to say that. I'll be on the lookout for anything of that nature. It is going to be a flea market, so it's not going to be as concentrated as a trade show, but who knows what we will find. Guys, that is it. So that was 3 short boxes of Archie comics for $25. It's probably like, I don't even know. What does that come out to? 10 cents a book, maybe less. The Earl Campbell card for me, this was the big buy of the week. I'm super stoked to own this. So Dolph, in the last 2 weeks he's been there, I bought the Earl Campbell rookie. Like I said, probably my favorite player ever. I bought the John Riggins rookie, one of my top 5 favorite players ever. And then I bought the Steve Largent rookie, probably one of my top 15 favorite players ever. So I'm on a roll right now with these vintage NFL rookie cards. And yeah, with that being said, I'm going to wrap it up. I hope to see you guys next week. We're going to have a really cool video, so please stick around for that. Thank you for all the support. And I will catch you guys in the next one. All right. Bye-bye.